on this. Brian Claypool, criminal defense attorney. Merry Christmas to you. You look here now at what the judge is trying to consider. Diddy's hoping that the first judge made an error and that maybe they can reduce his sentence. Brian, what do you think? Do you think he's going to convince a judge of this, or no chance?
Yeah, Merry Christmas, by the way. Look, I don't think there's any chance they're going to win on this. If I had one Christmas message to send to P Diddy's legal team, it would be count your blessings. I mean, look at this trial. He had sex trafficking charges, RICO charges. His legal team did an incredible job of getting him only convicted on the 2 prostitution charges, right? And look, the prosecutors asked for 11 years on the sentencing guidelines. Probation said 7 years. The judge comes in at 4, and I think that's reasonable. And here's why, real quick. There are aggravating factors that this judge was allowed to consider. One of those aggravating factors was how many victims, there are 2 here, and then the level of physical and emotional abuse, right? So that's important because that allows the judge to then give his perception of what he heard as evidence at trial as to whether P. Diddy was abusive to any of these victims, and that's what the judge said. So he was allowed to do that, and I think this sentencing is going to be upheld.
Brian, I want to get one point to you, too. You know, he's only supposed to serve apparently until, like, I think they're figuring maybe the springtime of 2028. By the time all of these motions run out, I mean, maybe he's, for all that money, buying himself a few months?
Yeah, that's a great point, because he's already spent, what, 14 months in jail? And to David's point, you don't, in federal court, you're not getting off after spending 60% of the time in jail. State court, you could get a 4-year sentence and be out in 18 months. That's not happening here. But look, you're right. It's a 4-year sentence. He's been in there 14 months. He'll be out in, what, 2 years and 8 months? And by the time this whole legal process plays out, he might be out anyway. But look, one other point I wanted to make is judges can't be held to being robots when they're sentencing. And that's what I find difficult in this appeal. Judges are allowed to instill what they perceived happened at trial. So again, I think it was a Hail Mary, but it's going to fail.
Brian, if he gets life and he's sitting in prison in 10 years, you think he'll be this popular?
I do, and that's what the world we live in right now. We're glorifying people that are allegedly killing others, and let's be clear here. We live in a different world now where social media is driving how people perceive almost everything in life, and that includes the courtroom. Because in the Luigi Mangione case, you have 2 courtroom battles going on here. You've got one in the courtroom, a 3-week motion to suppress evidence, and then you've got a courtroom battle playing out in the court of public opinion. And the lawyers are using social media. They're using what's called juror nullification. That's going to be their defense in this case. They want this jury to like Luigi. They want the jury to like them as human beings, and they want the jury to ignore the evidence and acquit him. And whether you like that or not, that's the world we're living in right now.
All right, Brian Claypool, David Gelman, thanks so much for joining us.